This episode is brought to you by McPherson's. Visit McPhersonCrafts.com for all your reborn and silicone supply needs.
Hi everyone, I'm Lizbeth Devlin from the Reborn Artistry Studio.
And I'm Emily Elliott from Eborns.
And welcome to another edition of Reborn Rap.
Yeah, welcome you guys.
Good to see you again, Emily.
You too.
We chat nonstop on WhatsApp. We send each other little messages, but it's really different when I see your face.
I know.
And then we kind of catch up, and then we catch up and realize, oh, hang on, we're supposed to be filming the podcast. Oh.
I know. It makes for awkwardness, right?
No. So what have you been up to? What's going on in your world?
I've been just incredibly busy. I am working on 2 customs right now. I'm finishing up little Nevaeh here.
Oh, I love that kit. And that Nevaeh is
by Cassie Brace. I'm on a Cassie Brace kick.
Yeah, you are.
Finishing rooting my Lori sculpt, which is Cassie Brace. And then I got my prototype kit, Noah by Cassie Brace.
Gosh, he's gorgeous. Big. He's gorgeous. What size is he, do you know?
He's going to be about 21 inches, she thinks. I'm going to play around with bodies and see. But I love him. I love his little mouth is like to die for. He's so cute.
He's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
And I have some huge news. Okay, so everyone knows Noah's my first prototype. I've always wanted one. I was so excited. And then less than a week after I got the prototype Noah, I got a message and I got another prototype. Which
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a Ping Lao sculpt. The sculpt name is Fuchi. And I can't show a photo of the sculpt yet, but I can show a photo of the baby it was sculpted after.
Okay. And this is a bigger baby, right? Are we allowed to say the size of it or anything?
Yeah, I think she's going to be about 25 inches.
Wow.
Which is going to be a big challenge. I'm actually kind of nervous. You know that I don't normally paint toddler-sized babies. But I mean, Ping Lao, like how can you say no to Ping Lao? She is just the absolute sweetest. And I'm kind of looking forward to stepping outside of my comfort zone. I just hope I do a good job because so many people are going to see it.
I'm sure you will. And if you were going to start doing toddlers, or if you were asked to do a toddler, you'd want to do a Ping Lao toddler because those are just absolutely gorgeous. They really are.
Yeah, and they're so popular too.
They are. And I'm sure you'll do a wonderful job. Oh, but the routine, that's going to be
I'm not looking forward to it
mammoth
at
task,
all.
But I know you're more than capable of doing it. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So like another thing that you can cross off your list.
I know. It was just crazy to me. Like, be careful what you wish for, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. So now you don't even have time to scratch your head these days.
I know.
busy,
with teaching too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need like 40 hours in a day, not 24.
Might be time to add an assistant. I mean, because you're teaching, you've got custom orders you're working on, and of course, your prototypes and the podcast too, because it's, like we keep saying, the podcast takes quite a lot of time, not just filming and editing, but researching and things. So you are a busy, busy girl.
I am. I know. My family hardly sees me inside the house. Well, I saw one of your beautiful babies the other day.
Oh, my Levi. Yeah, I finished a Levi, and it wasn't a custom order. And sometimes it's nice not to work on those custom orders because you get to experiment a little bit. So I messed around with his hair and kind of did like a sticky up hair do. And everybody just loved the kit. So I loved the doll when it was finished. So I was super excited and very proud of it. And then so I went and bought another Levi because Levi is just one of those kits that you can just keep painting over and over again. And there's so many different interpretations of the Levi kit. So I bought another Levi, and I got it from McPherson's. And I don't know if people are aware of this, but at one point last year, I believe McPherson's had increased their limit for shipping. So it was $130. If you spent $130, then you got free shipping. Now they've reverted back to, if you spend $100 in the US, you're going to get free shipping, which is great for someone like me, and probably you too. If you get that demand for a custom kit, and you're buying a kit that's $120, you then got to add extra stuff. And sometimes I was buying multiple kits and then not using them. And so this is great. I can buy a kit and get free shipping from McPherson's. So if you don't know, McPherson's has dropped their limit in the US to $100.
Yeah, and Levi is such a great choice too. I love the new style that you did with his hair. I thought it was stunning.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I don't know. That's one of my favorite sculpts. He like never gets old. He's so realistic looking.
Yeah, and the other thing about Levi too, he's one of those, because not all kits are like this, but when you finished him and you pick him up, because of his legs, he kind of cuddles into you.
Yeah.
And he's a really nice kit to hold. So if you're starting out painting, or if you haven't painted a Levi in a while, get the Levi kit by Bonnie Brown.
Yeah, and a fun little fact for anyone who didn't know this, but Levi by Bonnie Brown was actually sculpted from Bobbi Barfoot's son, Levi.
I did not know that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Which
really
must
interesting.
be fun. I see at doll shows, she takes him with her to doll shows, and he's older now. I don't know exactly how old he is. He looks like he's about 10 or so.
Right.
But he always poses with people with their little baby Levi's. It's so sweet. I love it when sculptors do that. It's like really special.
Oh, that's something that for the rest of that kid's life, there's that, he's been memorialized as a baby. Oh, that's wonderful. See, this is what happens when you have all those years of experience and knowledge behind you. Emily's my go-to for that. She's my encyclopedia of reborning.
And it's probably fun. He never has to wonder, like, what would I look like if I had red hair, brown hair?
That's a good point. Never thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a guest coming up is Hollie Piper, who is a reborn artist herself and a prototype artist too. And she is the founder of the RAA.
Yeah, she is. I'm excited to interview her. Lizbeth and I talked to her a lot because we're both members of the RAA board.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll just do kind of a brief explanation for anyone who doesn't know what the RAA is. It's a professional organization for artists and vendors, people that are employed in the reborn industry, basically. I liken it because I was a nurse. It's kind of like the American Nursing Association or the National Association of Nursing. It's just kind of one of those extracurricular organizations that are filled with professionals in your industry. It gives you a little bit more credibility, and it's a great resource.
Yep.
Like you were in one when you were doing real estate, right?
Yeah. So it's like the National Association for Realtors. So you can go and look up realtors, and it's good for the consumer as well, the same as the RAA. So if you're a collector and, you're a little bit concerned about buying a doll because, there's so many scammers out there, you can look in the registry, and all of these artists are vetted. So these are artists that are safe to purchase from. It's good for vendors getting their information there, artists getting their information. And there's lots of tips about buying and how to avoid scams too. So she's done a tremendous amount of work on the RAA. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, she has. They focus a lot on like ethical practices, but there's also a lot of fun stuff, like contests, and we'll let Hollie tell you more about it. But it's a great organization. There'll be information in the description if you guys want to go check out if you're eligible to join, how to apply, and all of that kind of stuff.
So let's get our interview started with Hollie Piper from the Reborn Artistry Alliance.
Hi, so we're here with Hollie Piper from Hello Sunshine Reborns. Hi, Hollie.
Hi, how you going?
Hi, Hollie. Nice to have you here. Thank you again for coming on the show. And again, we've got a time difference here, so thank you for being really patient with us because I screwed up the time.
That's all right.
So thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah,
pleasure.
And it's really great to meet you finally in person.
Face to face.
Yeah.
As best we can across the globe.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't we just jump right in? So you are the founder of the Reborn Artistry Alliance, which is what we're going to be talking about. Let's hear a little bit about you first and like your business.
Yeah, so I run Hello Sunshine Reborns. I'm based in Queensland, Australia, and I kind of fell into it actually. I used to run a business for a long time, and I was sort of changing the business model around, and my creative bucket wasn't getting filled. And at that particular time, my children and also my niece were into those Reborn unboxing videos on YouTube.
Oh.
And so they would constantly bring me the video to look at, like, oh, mom, you should make these, or like, can we get these? And because I was like really wanting something creative to sort of fill my bucket at that time, I was like, oh, maybe I could make one of these dolls. And I had a look online, and I did come across some of those scam websites as well. And that's what sort of prompted me to go, maybe I am pretty crafty and arty and all of that. That's my background. So I did some investigating and found I could buy like a Reborn kit with all the paints and the actual doll and all the bits that go together, or to put it together. And yeah, just kind of like dove right in.
And I have to say, okay, for everybody that's watching this, when I first met Hollie, I knew you were an artist, but I didn't know much about your work. And then I saw your work and I was like, oh my gosh, look at her. Your babies are incredible.
Thank you.
Then just recently discovered that you're actually an artist too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a bit of a dark horse because you don't tell anybody this stuff. But
but you're a prototype artist.
Yeah, prototype artist too. And you've got multiple talents when it comes to being creative.
Yeah, I seem to just try my hand at a lot of different things. And it, like, the first Reborn I made was awful. Like, I did not follow the curing times or anything. And I was actually speaking to one of my customers at the moment who is also learning to Reborn. And she mucked it up, and she sent me the photos. And I was like, oh, honey, let me show you my first Reborn. And she was like, oh, it makes me feel so much better.
And because your artwork, do you draw or do you paint by hand?
So my background is in pencil and graphite, like portraits.
Okay.
And I've worked professionally since I was about 18 as a portrait illustrator, and I did medical illustrations as well at one point.
Oh, really?
And so I was actually studying secondary education and fine arts at university, and I ended up deferring because I got this contract to do these illustrations, and that actually paid for my first car. So, and then
see, she's that good.
Yeah, and then the sort of, with all the changes with like technology and all the wonderful programs like Illustrator and Photoshop, and I sort of started to teach myself how to use the digital programs, and I learned how to draw digitally back in like the late 2000s, and it sort of just expanded. And so that's where I started a business where I was actually designing the fabric prints. It was a sportswear brand at the time, and I did all of the prints, and they were sublimated. And after I closed that down in 2020, which is so fantastic that I found Reborning at that time, like just prior, like it was late 2019. So fast forward like 6 months, I'm still learning how to do Reborning, but COVID came around and it ruined my manufacturing network, my logistics. And so I had the option, like, do I hang it out and see if it works, or do I close and then try something new? And so I ended up closing, and with the surplus left over, I was able to invest in like kits and tutorials and all sorts of things. And that's when Hello Sunshine was actually like registered as a business, and I really gave it a good go. And even in that time, I also was contracted as an illustrator for a craft company here in Australia. So I was doing digital illustrations on my iPad using Procreate. So it was like, yes, went back to my roots again of drawing, and off I went.
So we're going to be talking a lot about the Reborn Artistry Alliance, but let's kind of start at the origins, like what made you want to start it and how you started it.
In probably 2023, I had like a little bit of an idea about maybe starting like a website that had more information on the industry. I, being quite new to reboarding, having only started really in sort of 2020, I guess, I hadn't joined a lot of the groups on like Facebook and made like friends within the industry. So I was still sort of gaining that sort of traction and learning about more and more how many people are being scammed, how many thousands of dollars they're getting scammed out of, and all the different things that we have to do to try to protect ourselves, even as artists buying kits and trading and everything. And I did go hunt around online and have a look to see what sort of content was out there. And there's some great content out there. It's just you have to go looking for it. So that was sort of like one idea of maybe there should be a website where it could be like a bit of a hub of information. And then probably a little while later, I was starting to get more and more bookings for Reborns and hearing more and more stories. And it just started making me get like quite upset and angry at the whole situation. And then what really sealed the deal was starting to see artists struggling to even close sales because of that mistrust between the buyers and sellers. Mm-hmm. And so that sort of just hung in the back of my head for a little while. And later on, I was looking for ways that I could get my work judged. I wanted to enter competitions. We only have a couple of conventions here in Australia that we can go to and shows and things, and you have to travel most of the time for them. And so I was looking for something online, and most of the ones that I found were either restricted to that country. They were invitation only, predominantly like high-end and prototype artists could enter. And I was looking for something that, you know, anybody could enter from around the world because I really wanted to get feedback. I was still obviously like posting in groups and things and asking for feedback at the same time, but I think I just wanted to be involved in that part of the industry. And because that was sort of lacking, I sort of started to think maybe those ideas could merge together somehow, but I wasn't quite sure exactly how I would do that yet. It was probably 12 months later, almost 12 months later, that I started to figure out how it could all work together. And that's when I sort of drafted a bit of an idea, a concept up. I did like a little document. That's when I started floating around the name Reborn Artistry Alliance, Reborn Artistry Awards maybe. Like I was just floating these ideas, and I wrote all these notes down, and I started sharing the idea with some of the industry professionals here in Australia. And they had some fantastic feedback on it. So I was able to then go back and rework all of the different parts. Like, how would it technically work? How do I execute this? What steps do I need to take in order to get it to an actual functional level? And so that was the really tricky bit.
Yeah, and it's really elaborate. The site and the concept, you've really figured it out and worked it out. I mean, it really is. It's a lot of information on there and just really well put together.
Thank you. I did spend a ridiculous amount of time on it. So the back end of it is very complicated.
I can imagine.
And I've had to, as we've sort of moved through, set up kind of like templates and easier ways for things to be done and processed. So I've used the system in a way that's not as conventional. So like the product listings, the profile listings are actually listed like products. So okay. I've used that setup with the filtering and everything and changed it so it looks like a directory and functions like a directory.
And so you're the IT person behind all of this too.
Yes.
I mean, designer, you came up with the concept, you designed it, you organize or handle their website, just everything. And on top of that, you're reborning as well.
Yes.
Okay. And of course you've got the kids as well.
Oh yes. And they like, they do like competitive dancing. So yeah, just, another thing to my list.
So when do you sleep,
Whenever I can.
Never. Yeah. Well, that's
I know
great.
it's amazing. Like when you look at just the sheer amount of work and you make it look really easy.
Yeah.
Like I personally was so excited to see it. Like I know there are other reborn organizations and coalitions, but this is the only one that's English speaking, which is huge for, like, you're obviously not in the US, but it's huge for all of us that speak English. I was just so impressed with
it's
like
very
how
professional.
it is.
It's very professional. Every aspect of it, from the design and even the colors that you've used on the website, are really professional. The certificates and badges that we get for being members are just really professionally done. It looks absolutely phenomenal.
I think my background has really helped with that. Like when I was running my last business, I did all of those same things. I did all of the branding, all the packaging, the website, and obviously the actual products as well. And I'm all self-taught with Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and all of those. InDesign, I even know how to code. So putting all of those skills to use is like, it just happens.
Right.
But that I wanted it to be something that was professional, but also something that wasn't too overwhelming for people to join. Like it needed to be sort of still friendly enough, not too like elitist, if you will.
Right.
And yeah, creating all the badges and everything has been super fun. I now have a really cool little script I can run and it makes them for me.
Oh, it does? Okay. Save
so
some time.
easy.
Yeah. I mean, it caters for everything too. It's because it's for artists, but also collectors can go there and look up different artists. For artists, that you've also got listings for different vendors and dealers. I mean, it encompasses a lot more than just, a registry of artists, basically.
Yeah. I wanted it to be somewhere that buyers could go to look up artists. I wanted it to be also somewhere artists could go to look up vendors and tutorials and other resources. Because like when I started, I had to really go hunting for like which tutorial should I be following as a beginner, which technique is best for me right now, what products and brands should I be buying, and through many trial and error and wasted dollars, I finally got there. But like I feel like that sort of cuts out a little bit of that time sourcing all of those things. Like we've got now a resources page, we've got links to some fantastic groups on Facebook, we've got links to authorized dealers, and putting them into one sort of place hopefully will then allow more artists to find what they're looking for quicker. And not just that, also information on how to protect yourself online, how to buy and trade, how to interact as a seller, as a buyer, and all of that information is on there as well.
Yeah, another benefit that I want to kind of touch on is just the credibility it lends. Like, I always think it is crazy in our industry. Like, some people do this as hobbies, but a lot of us, it is our full-time business, and we treat it like a business. And in any other business, you belong to organizations, and it gives you a little bit more credibility and shows that you're like a trustworthy, involved member of the community. And I know it's not foolproof, but I don't know if people realize how like it's a lot of work making sure people are trustworthy.
Because you really vet. I mean, you can't just register and then you're a part of this group. You really vet everybody that applies to become a member.
So the process, as both of you know very well, we get all the applications come through, and part of the application process is they do go through the checkout process as like just to register. And the reason that they do that is it creates a customer account on the website. And so what I do from there is with the application, it goes into the spreadsheet, And then I do like a pre-screen, if you will. So that is, I look through their applications and I go, yep, so they've got links, they've got photos, they've got the right information, the links work. Or they don't have the links, they haven't included the photos, there's missing information. So I can immediately put them into little categories like this one probably will be approved, this one isn't going to be approved because it's missing X, Y, Z. They go into a different newsletter list, they get a little message. And so then from there, I go through all of those images, the social media links, and I just check them off one by one. So we're looking for all sorts of things. So there's like 90% of them are very easy to vet. Like both of yours were so easy to vet. You've got consistent, consistent along all of your like platforms. You've got wonderful interactions. You've got reviews. You've got authentic comments, and there's back and forth. You can see you're in the groups. You're popping up in everywhere. So those sorts of things. It's like that's a no-brainer. I can see you're friends with Christine Woolley or like other people who are big in the industry and other sculpting artists. I'm like, okay, well, they're going to be a great person to then approve. And then you have some people who they don't have a way for me to even see their work online. So I can't even verify that the images they've sent me is their work. So that's probably the biggest thing. If we can't verify you as a person online and your work in association with yourself, that's going to stop the application right there.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of one more thing for brand new artists, how important it is to, right away create your business Facebook page and really start establishing yourself in the community to build a little bit of history up for your credibility.
So you'll take on a new artist as long as they have history. But if it's somebody that's been going for a while and they don't have history, I don't know how you go for a while without having history anyway. It's a silly question.
I think that the new artists, I have a few that have applied and they don't have enough content to link themselves back to those pages. So like they have a page and they have some followers, but they don't have any completed dolls. They don't really have they don't have anything to sort of show for their finished work, if that makes sense. So I've said to several of them, just give yourself like a month or two, build up a few more, posts, get some more finished work happening so we can see it. I've even had some that have got, a reborns.com account, but they don't have nothing's listed. So there's nothing for me to look at. And I'm like, once you've got something listed, come back, we'll relook at it and we'll go from there.
Yeah. And it's like you said too, when I tell this to new artists as well, even if you haven't finished a doll, post those pictures of work in progress and start building that rapport. And then, next year you've got a history that's gone for 12 months rather than you just created a doll and you've got 1 month of history, but it's a finished picture of the doll, but you've got to build that rapport, like you said.
Yeah. I've got a few artists that will be coming back soon to reapply. And I've already had actually several back from like August, September that have come back. And they've done exactly that. You can see their listings, and they've sold dolls now, so they've got reviews, and it's fantastic.
So we've been talking a little bit, obviously, about some of the requirements, but what else are you looking for in members?
We're also looking for things like, when you're showing like your work in progress pictures, for example, are the kits authentic? Do you have the JD numbers on there? Are there presence? Is there the presence of COAs? What kits are you reborning? Because we know that there are a collection of highly copied kits. And if all of your work is those kits only, we're going to have to delve deep into your pages and have a closer look. And both of you have helped on numerous occasions on going through those pages and going, yes, I believe this person shouldn't be approved because of X, Y, Z. Or no, I think this person should be approved because look here and here and here. great, cool, thank you, and off we go. But I tell you what, I've been like pages deep in people's Facebook pages, Instagrams, like years back, like because you find one thing and it goes to the next and you're like, oh, I need to check that, need to check that. So we're looking for the authenticity of the kits. We're also looking at the authenticity of your followers. So we have had people who have applied, and on their social network pages, they have like thousands of bots following them, and you can tell what they look like. You go to their accounts, and you can see that they're bots. They have like almost no interaction, but they've got thousands of followers. So sometimes the names don't even match. So I'm looking for the consistency between your name, your Reborn trading name or artist name, and we had one that went by like 3 different names. And so I was like, red flag. So we're going to just note that down. It's going to go into the list. And then that's when the spreadsheet gets sent off to you and you have to go down the list, have a look. And of course, then we've also got artists and industry professionals that apply that not all of us know of, but between us all, we can sort of tick them off and say, yeah, they're an automatic approval. They're this person. They do this, this, and this. So it makes it a little bit easier from my end.
And I just wanted to touch on, because this is something actually that someone had sent me a message about. So I just kind of want to say it out loud. Mm-hmm. When we're like looking through all of these things, it comes off judgy to some people. That's not at all what it is. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to say we don't care what you're doing, but we don't have time to care about what everybody's doing. The reason that we're doing it is because if you become a member and we're saying that you're trustworthy, we need to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to make sure that you're trustworthy.
Right. And it just takes one bad apple,
Yep.
Yeah.
And we don't personally know every single artist. So,
no.
Sometimes we don't know things about them and it pops up later, and that, we just have to deal with it then. But yeah, it's we definitely want them to be representing us in the most professional and ethical manner possible. Right. And it's also not just about having authentic kits. It's also about operating ethically and professionally. You might be using authentic kits, but you may have a reputation for not operating ethically with your buyers. And so if we have that knowledge, we're probably not going to approve you. If you're known for doctoring your images and deceiving your buyers, we're probably not going to approve you. So it's just little things like that. We want really honest and like ethical and authentic members.
Okay. Yeah, a good representation of the community. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you have to make sure that you continue your reputation. Like, you have to continue acting ethically. I mean, God, we get reports all of the time about people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Some of them, there's nothing really we can do about it, though. There's not enough evidence to go and, like, remove a member or go and like ask somebody to take them off their website or whatever because they've done this, this, and this. But then there are sometimes where there is solid evidence of this happening. And occasionally, I'll pop my head into like one of those Reborn scammers and liars groups, and they're already in there. Like, people have already posted about it, and it's already a common knowledge. So there's nothing really we need to do or put up ourselves. The industry is doing a great job of that too. But yeah, certainly we do have that reporting there. If people have, been caught up in a scam or somebody's moonlighting. Have you heard about the moonlighting that goes on?
No.
Where they operate professionally under one name and then they have a moonlight name where they make the copied dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. It doesn't shock me, but
yeah,
it's hard to keep up with some of these scams.
Yeah, so you got to be really careful. But again, like those sorts of things, it means like if we don't have solid evidence, we can't really do anything about it. But what we might do is we might not approve that artist if we have like some information that they could be moonlighting.
Right.
So I've got a little list of some, but it's, you got to, I'm not gonna name names or anything because that wouldn't be fair. But yes, that is something that goes on.
Oh my gosh, I would never have thought about that actually.
Mm.
Moonlighting.
So they sell like on their like their Facebook page, they sell under their like nursery name, and then like on eBay, or is it Mercari? Is that how you say Mercari? They sell
so,
there, under a completely different name. But there's been a few times where you can see like the profile images. There's a similarity between them. Yeah, or the name is like a little bit different. It's just,
so smart, but not smart enough.
I love whoever coined the phrase. It's perfect. The response to you launching the RAA was absolutely crazy. I feel like it was so well received in the community.
I was absolutely blown away. I had I invited some industry like members initially just to get like the ball rolling. So we had I think about 20-ish members at the time, some vendors, some prototype artists, some sculptors. So, and of course artists, just to like, so people could see what it was as well. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll get the Facebook page ready and Instagram and everything connected, and I'll just get like a little bit of content down. And then people were finding the page, like straight away finding the page, and people were sharing things. And Lizbeth, you actually shared a post into Sue Ellen's group, which has got thousands of members. And next minute, I've got people from all over the world registering.
Blew up.
And it just kind of took on a life of its own. So I was like, okay, well, we won't be needing to do a launch now. We'll just roll with it.
Oops.
And it was great. I saw it pop up in several groups, and people had questions, and then other people in the group were answering the questions. Like I didn't even really need to say anything. And it was wonderful. It was like the community. Yeah, it definitely was very, very well received. And I immediately had people messaging me, emailing the RAA saying, hey, I'd love to be involved. This is what I do. Like, could we do this? Could we do that? And like, it just took on a mind of its own.
Yeah. I know I remembered looking at the membership, and Emily and I are like 25, 26. And then I posted it in, Sue Ellen's group. And next minute I was like, oh my gosh, the numbers are like in the 200s now. And I felt really bad for you. I was like, oops.
Yeah. Oh no, don't. It was fantastic. I did try so hard to get them processed. Like it's at the time, because I was still working out how to process them like efficiently. There was a lot of manual things that needed to happen. So what I've done over the time since the launch was I've now streamlined it into sort of more of I've got scripts that I can run on my programs that make the badges. Perfect. I have a emailing system where I can literally just put it into the spreadsheet that I use to make the profiles. That is the newsletter list, and I can send everybody their badges all in one hit. And like even down to making the profiles, the back end of it is like very techie, so I won't go into that, but it's very clever in how it works, and it's all connected to your customer account that they created when they actually registered. So it all ties back, so everybody's all linked up to their profile and everything. So it's much more efficient now. I can process like 10 in the same time that I could process one. So,
well, good. And the membership now is up to, as of this month?
I think we've just ticked over 570 now.
And how many months has it been going? Because it hasn't been that long, has it?
We started in, would have been like August, end of July, August.
Okay.
Is that all?
Yeah, I think July I had the site live, and that's when I was getting the like founding members in, and then from August that's where it really started to like kick off.
Yeah, because I think we were working on launching the podcast when it
Yes.
first came out, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, this
I
is
know.
great."
I was
Yeah.
so excited to get in right away. I think it was really, really smart. You got an awesome board together right away, if I don't say so myself. Like almost a third of us are here. But why don't you just go ahead and kind of introduce the board to people who might not know who we are besides us three?
Yeah, so we've got Narelle from Ultimate Fusion, we've got Ping Lau, we've got Doris, we've got Yvonne from Comma's Reborn Art, we have Ella from Pixie Kissed Babies Boutique. So like between us all, we've got quite a wealth of experience and knowledge in the industry, and it's been absolutely fantastic having all of you on board, and I really enjoy our little chat group back and forth.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
it's been
fun
good,
being
actually.
a part of like being able to shape the future of it.
Yeah.
Like I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and seeing the growth as well, the growth and the enthusiasm for the boards are very, very good at, kind of catching everything. And then just the enthusiasm from the Reborn community that, wanted to be members of the RAA.
And I also just want to say there's also so many others that have provided so much input as well, and people who I have messaged who have then they've given feedback or ideas, and that has helped shape how the website is designed, and the rules and regulations have been written, and things that might need to be tweaked, because there are things that I haven't thought of, things that you haven't thought of, but then someone else might go, oh, how about we do this? Like, have you thought about doing it this way? And they're not part of our advisory team, but they're just willingly wanting to be involved.
Right.
And I do think that the reason that it has grown so much is because it has been community driven. Like all these aspects have been community driven.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and I think that is how it's going to keep going forward as well. And it's just becoming a really wonderful tool for artists and vendors to use when presenting their work or their websites.
And we got a pretty big boost also when you partnered up with Reborns.com.
Yes. So I got an email from Dave, and he was saying, hey, would you be interested in doing like a link back between us, because we've got you've got a lot of members that are Reborns.com members as well, and like it would be really wonderful if we could show the buyers on there like that they are also members of the RAA. So being the wonderful tech head he is, he got that done really quickly. And so if you are a member of the RAA and you are also a member of the Reborns.com website, you can actually add your RAA profile link into your Reborns.com account, and the logo will now appear on your profile on Reborns.com. And that links back. So they both link to each other, which is fantastic.
Perfect. And Hollie, the RAA is continuing to grow. What kind of growth do you see for the future?
Well, we had our first Reborn competition end of last year, and we've grown a lot since then as well, people wanting to be involved. And the competition was amazing. I was really amazed at how many people registered for the competition. We had over 85 entries in our first competition, which I was amazed at, and like just absolutely stunning work. We had everything from novice all the way up to prototype artists, and like I was just absolutely blown away with the caliber of artists that were entering. So now that we have grown almost double since then, I can only presume that the next competition is going to be bigger and better than the last one. So going forward, we're definitely going to be doing some more competitions, and we will be announcing our next one very soon. So I've just this morning, I have been chatting with the advisory team about what will be coming up, and just working out if dates suit and what things might need to be tweaked before we just confirm all of those details. But do stay tuned, because it will be announcing it soon. So the main difference with the RAA competitions, as opposed to other online competitions, is we don't do just like one a year. We do qualifying competitions and a finals competition. So artists can enter into the qualifying competitions and vie for a certain score or higher, and that will qualify them to go into the finals, where they can compete for the really big things, the big prizes, the big trophies.
The prizes were gorgeous, actually. The awards were gorgeous for the last competition.
Yes. Oh, we got so many amazing prizes to give out. We had kits and we had tutorial booklets. We had courses online. We had all sorts of things provided. So very kindly from many vendors, both of you as well. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
But yeah, we also had some beautiful awards that we post out afterwards. And silly me, I totally forgot around Christmas time, the epic chaos that is our postal system. So the awards got delayed a bit, but we kept everybody up to date, all the winners up to date, and they were very happy and just said, no problems, all good. And they did happen to arrive just in time for this podcast.
Oh, lovely.
Awesome. And the winners of that competition, they got like special badges as well.
Yes, they did. So every person who enters the competition will receive a score badge and a certificate for their score as well. So everybody gets something to walk away with. And the reason I did that was these dolls take an immense amount of effort to make and put together, so many hours, and then they're putting themselves out there to get feedback from the judges. So I was a firm believer in making sure that they were rewarded for their effort, and the way that we would do that is through their score. So we have a merit badge, which is 74 out of 100 or less. We then have a bronze badge, which is 75 to 79. And then we've got a silver, and then a gold, and then a platinum, and it goes up in sort of like 5 score points increments. And then our top one is a diamond score, which is 95 to 100. And so they would then get a certificate with their score, and they have a little separate badge with their name on it, and everything is all customized that they can then put on their work. And I wanted to do that because when you can put that on your photo of your reborn, it gives that artist credibility, saying, hey, this is what my level of work is. This is how fantastic I am as an artist. And it just lends itself to that extra credibility. So like having the members badge is one thing, but then having the score badges is a little extra like cherry on top, if you will. And then they can collect them and they can add them to their, their banner picture on Facebook or their website. And like it adds that other like extra level of professionalism as well to their work.
So you have some of the medals there with you?
I do. I will show you first the winners get in the mail a printed certificate. So I'm just going to show you. This is Betsy Thomas's certificate. She's from Beautiful Babies by Betsy. So shout out to you, Betsy. So they get these beautiful certificates. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Like there.
Oh, those are pretty.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah. So they get these beautiful certificates. And then, so she has, and you can see the score badges. Can you see the little score badge?
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So Betsy has got a first place for her Cuddle Reborn. And she also got a runner-up for her Fantasy Reborn. So I'm just going to take these out. They all come in these little pouches. So knocking the mic there. So this is her.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I don't know if you can see that.
That's
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
And then on the back, they're all personalized.
Oh, really nicely done. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
gorgeous.
the gold, and then that's the silver that she got.
Perfect.
The name on the back. It's so pretty.
Yeah, they're really nice.
So yeah, they all get mailed out to the winners, along with any prizes that I've been sent directly. So I have a few that have kits, some that have like Christine Woolley's hair painting books. We've got some paints. We've also got a few other little bits and pieces. So yeah, they're all going out today. So I'm very excited.
That's great.
That is exciting.
Mm.
It's like a great little confidence boost. I feel like it's nice getting digital certificates, but when people have something that they can see and hold or hang up in the background,
that's right.
It's nice. It's
and
nice
it's also
touch.
nice getting that feedback too, because a lot of the times if you post your dolls on Facebook, everyone's like, it's gorgeous, it's gorgeous, it's gorgeous. But you want the feedback, because you want to know, what do I need to improve on? And if everyone's telling you, oh, it's fantastic, you don't know what you need to, what do I need to improve on?
And that was something that I was also really wanting to make sure we had, was providing every single entry with like a comment card or a feedback card, or critiques, if you will. And so that is all put into a folder for every competitor, along with all their digitals. And it has what entry number they were, what the Reborn was, what school they got, like all of the different areas that they get scored in, what their total was, and then the comments from the judges. So that way they know like why they got that score or where they can make improvements. And I actually had a lot of emails from people saying, thank you so much, that was really helpful. Or like it really like has inspired me now to go back and try, this and this. And so that was really good to hear.
So all of those like trophies and medals and stuff like that really, really adds up. There's no membership fee to join the RAA. So how can people support the RAA so that we can keep doing things like this?
We do have a donate button on the website where people can make a donation towards the costs and things of running RAA. And like when you enter the competitions as well, the entry fee is paying for things like the medal certificates and like things that are going to keep the website going as well. So all of those things and being involved is helping. But you can go to our website. There is a donate button. There's one on our homepage and also one on the directory pages as well. So you can click through and you can choose however much you'd like to donate. And every dollar will add up and help sort of take us to the next level, because there's lots of things I'd love to do. And I'm also adding to the website very soon an area where you can purchase merchandise. So not just RAA merchandise, but like Reborn merchandise in general. So so t-shirts and hoodies and like baby onesies and all sorts of things that you might find really helpful. Just using my design skills, I put together a few things. I thought that'd be really fun, just to engage the community a little bit more and have something nice to wear to the next convention maybe.
Oh, lovely. That would be great.
That's awesome. And we'll put the RAA website and everything in the description so you guys at home can go over to the website and check it out and sign up. Try to become a member if you're not already one.
Absolutely. So, Hollie, thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us today and joining the podcast. We really appreciate everything that you do for everybody in the community, and we appreciate you being on the podcast too.
Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
It's great to meet you. All right, bye.
See you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
What a great interview with Hollie.
She is, she's got that type A personality. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
It's a good thing. That's because she's so busy. And, when we joined the board, she already had everything pretty much set up on the website and everything. And what details she went into. And I love that she vets people really, really. I know. What's funny is you and I are both on the board. I'm going to be really embarrassed if you knew this, but I had no idea that the list we get are just the ones that she's already done that she needed some extra vetting on. How many is she doing?
How could you have missed that? Did you not get them?
Know.
I'm kidding.
Did you know that?
I'm kidding. Well, I get the alerts when people want to join the page. And there are hundreds and hundreds of people. And, people never answer questions. It states, ask them, what your badge number is, blah, blah, blah. And people don't answer questions, which delays the process altogether. But yeah, but she's an incredible artist, just not just in reborning, but her drawings too. And
I know. I'm really impressed with those.
Yeah,
They're pretty awesome.
She's got the kids in dance as well. I mean, she is one busy lady. And
she really
she's super sweet. She's an absolute sweetheart.
I know.
I mean, she's sweet
really
on camera, but she's really sweet off camera too. So yeah. But thank you, Hollie. It was really nice to chat to you. So what have we got coming up next
week?
What's on
Joy
the board?
Wong is our next guest.
And tell us a little bit about Joy Wong.
Oh my gosh. Joy is an absolutely amazing human being, first of all. Like, I love her so much. But she is a newer artist, shockingly. And I saw her first baby. It was like, you would never know she's a newer artist, but she is an up and coming sculptor. Like, it is like she shot out of a cannon.
Oh, really?
Like, her first sculpts, like, everybody wanted them. Like, she is just an inspiration. Like, she's a huge success in the reborn community.
Yeah, I know her work, but I don't know her personally. And I know that you do know her personally. So it's going to be interesting to get to know her a little bit and find out, how do you do that? How do you shoot yourself from a cannon,
Exactly.
I know.
I think we talked to so many sculptors that are, they're long established. It'll be really amazing to get the perspective of somebody who is, just going through kit production processes and all of that kind of stuff.
I wonder what that magic component is. Maybe she'll share some major secrets with us.
I know. I want to hear how she got the first one produced. So I'm excited to have her share that for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. Cool.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, we will have our winner for the Susan Gibbs course, the painting silicone course, which I'm bummed out because I can't win it, but I'm super excited for the winner. And I want to blur out their name right now, but I won't.
Yeah, stay tuned for after the credits.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it.
Yeah,
another
that's
episode.
It. Yes.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Okay.
All right.
That's a wrap.
Ooh. We said it at the same time, but your clicker was slow.
It was close.
You had a little delayed click.
Yep. Sounds the story of my life. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
All right. See
Remember,
you in the next
be nice
one.
out there. Be kind to each other, and we'll see you next week. Oh,
yep.
Next episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next episode.
Bye.
Bye.